99 George Brett has been acquired, all no money spent. I grinded all day yesterday to finish up this collection, and the man, the myth, the legend is now on the team and available to be used. All no money spent. Yes, you heard that right. I don't spend any money on stubs. I make my stubs by playing the game and collecting cards by just buying them with the subs that I make. So what I'm gonna do today is give you all some feedback and tips to help you get these collections done ASAP, whether you're trying to get it no money spent or not. This will be the most productive way to start collecting cards, which collections you should be going for, and some general feedback on how this will pan out over the time of weeks, months, because as of right now, it is difficult to complete this, and it's 100% fine that it is. Let's get into it. Here is the collection screen in your Legend and Flashback collections. As you see, you need 16 vouchers to collect George Brett. 17 total categories exist though. Future stars are included, but at this point in the game, no one has collected it. It's very expensive because at this point, the Future Star program just dropped. However, there are 17 vouchers. It just doesn't show up because it hasn't been discovered yet. So as you see, you have your Takashi Collection, your Cover Athlete Collection, and all of the other individual categories. And right now, this very first day of it being available, it's extremely difficult to do. You kind of had to have a lot of preparation, some extra stubs, and really be smart about getting this done if you're getting it done right away. So first, what I want to do is go category by category, give some feedback on how you should be getting these cards, and if this category is worth going for, or if it'll be one that you want to debate skipping, depending on how many cards you get complete. And then second of all, once we cover the individual categories, we'll go over the other tips about how you can get cards in general. So, you know, maybe you have those pesky little BR cards or other flashbacks you need to buy. We'll make sure we cover those as well, so you know exactly how you can be getting them over the span of the weeks. First, you have your Takashi Collection. At this current point in the game, it's a little difficult. We don't have many, but they confirmed, SDS did, on the stream the other day, they're gonna add more Takashi cards. I bet you'll see a few more in events that'll be easy to acquire, so you may not need to lock in that expensive Carlos Delgado or Joe Morgan, but again, some of the prices went down a bit after the collection. Make sure you are getting the free Cover Athlete or pre-order cards, whatever they're called, for these Takashi cards. All these guys are like 20K. You could save yourself some stubs by getting the free pack. You get one in mini seasons, you get them in the featured programs. Keep up whenever you see those available. Try to get them when you can. Save yourself on those stubs because it helps make your life easier on the other collections. And then once you have these ones done, maybe you want to buy Delgado if you want to get Babe Ruth right away. Maybe you want to wait, play the long game, wait for other Takashi cards. You'll see those again at some point though. Cover Athletes. This is a little bit of a different collection because this is all you'll see. There shouldn't be any more Cover Athletes. There's a limited amount to get. So these cards, you know, are very similar price-wise, but you need more of them. Again, get your free packs whenever you can, whenever they're in featured programs and such. Get that Cover Athlete pack, scoop up a card, and you could honestly get a lot of them just by building that up over time. At this point, I kind of think this one is more so worth doing at this point, getting cheaper and cheaper as the days go on, especially if you are someone who's getting free packs. So I would probably do this one at this current point. Even though it might be worth skipping, I'd be pursuing it if you can. Milestones. Milestones might be a little difficult for some, especially if you don't have those live series collections done. However, you can do it. Not much of a difference in stubs because you either get Roberto Clemente, which you may have if you have live series collections done, or you gotta buy Castellanos as of right now, who is likely to keep on getting expensive as the days goes on. But as you see, there are a bunch of cheaper milestone guys like Juan Pierre, Brock Holt, Jorge Polanco. Keep an eye out on these Always Intense packs. When you see these packs available, don't be afraid to scoop them up that day, whether they're available in the market, flash sales, featured programs. Get them in your base rounds. They're easy to acquire. Make sure you dedicate those base rounds to collecting them or buy them for cheap because as you see, the prices have gone down a little bit. And other than that, keep an eye out on things like the featured program bosses. You know, Zach Britton is someone that you have to buy, which isn't expensive, but other ones, you'll see the higher overall cards being milestone cards. So this will be easier with time if you're someone who is collecting the better cards in the game anyway. Signature series is definitely in the same boat. However, you definitely would consider skipping this one if you don't have live series collections done. Because Randy, Michael Young, and Mike Messina, all three of them are live series collection cards. If you don't have Randy, it's fine, but you have to have at least the AL West and the AL East done in order to have this collection even be possible this current state. What I recommend, again, do those collections. Keep an eye out on the Always Intense, Big Dog packs, headliners, stuff like Bruce Sutter, pretty cheap. John Franco has gotten very cheap. Tom Glavine's pretty expensive right now. But again, if you don't have collections done, kind of got to get them. Again, if you're collecting the best cards in the game as we're getting further and further onto the year, this one will likely be easier because 6 series will be one of the big series you see, and 5 at the end of the day isn't that much as the year goes on. Award series, you need 10 of them, and the thing with award series that's tough, again, Frank Thomas helps if you have those live series collections done. Dallas Keuchel helps you have the Astros done, which a lot of people do. But again, past that point, you got to buy all of them. And the lucky thing is some of them are pretty budget ones, like Duvall, Will Myers, Houston Street, Robbie Ray are all very budget buys. David Price actually has gotten pretty cheap too, so I'd put him as a budget buy too. However, you need to get the Dodgers collection, which could be a little bit of stubs. You need to buy Brandon Crawford and then Albert Pujols. Paying a good amount of stubs for cards like that, or you're going to end up with Reggie Jackson, who may be cheap come the end of the season. But again, you gotta have stubs aside to buy this one. This will be more expensive than your Joe Mauer and Babe Ruth collections, I think, for many people. So keep in mind, this is one that you may want to consider skipping if you're someone who is lacking on the stubs. But again, as you get more and more really good cards this year, you're starting to keep the best cards in the game on your team. 10 award series probably won't be too much in the grand scheme of things. Prime cards, again, you have 10 of them. There aren't many right now. Live series collections will help you with Utley, Troy Gloss, Sizemore, Ray Durham. So you get 4 of the 10 from live series collections, which is a good chunk. Again, you're gonna get some for the large divisions. Troy Gloss is gonna be a slightly tough to acquire one because the Angels and Trout are pretty expensive. So for many people, you're probably gonna consider skipping Chase Utley and Troy Gloss if you don't have collections done. Other than that, I think everyone else is pretty acquirable. You know, Ray Durham's an acquirable collection. A lot of guys are very budget friendly at this point in the game. This is a tough collection because there aren't many of them, but they're all budget buys. You definitely want to do this one. Get those event flashbacks, get your headliners, get those guys for cheap because, like I said, they're pretty darn cheap right now. Faces of the franchise is a very interesting one because at first I didn't expect for them to have 27 be a requirement, but the beauty of this one is once you have the 27, you probably want to scoop ball 30 for the sake of it. You'll have enough for any sort of collection for the rest of the year. So if these cards are necessary, you'll be fine for the rest of the year for other future collections. If you are someone who has a lot of them on your team, you probably have a good amount of them anyway. You probably want to finish it up, get up to 27. They're about 10K a piece right now. You're gonna need a, potentially 100,000 stubs, depending on how many cards you need to buy. Definitely worth scooping up though. I mean, they're moving in good circulation, and if you need a few more, there are actually a few of these packs within the current featured program with the Future Star cards. So if you're looking to get some, you get, I think, 6 of them for free in there. Prospects actually proved to be a little tough, not gonna lie. If you want to get some prospects, keep an eye out on things like the Conquest. The USA Conquest gives you some. Mini seasons give you some prospect packs if you repeat certain objectives over and over again. And you can stash up on these golds very easily. They're only about 1,000 stubs a piece. So you definitely want to get your 30 regular prospects, your gold boys. And after that, you got to have some of the diamonds. So you collect Adley, and then you get guys like Bohm, Leiter, Casas, your base round big dog guys. Again, they're cheap. So remember, when you get those big dog packs, don't be afraid to scoop them up, stash them aside for this collection because you need them. I still kind of crawled to the finish here to get some. But again, the beauty of this collection, there are not many expensive cards. Make sure you get guys like J-Rod, Bobby Witt, or any of the other diamond guys in your base rounds and get those golds. And you're probably going to be more than fine at that point. Definitely a reasonable collection here. Monthly awards, as of month 1, you'd have the entire monthly award program and all of the flashbacks. I feel like a lot of people have these flashbacks. They're dirt cheap. Nothing wrong with having them in the inventory. However, when the new monthly award program comes out, if you just do some of that, you'll make up for whatever missing cards you have in case you not complete the first one. But I just recommend doing the entire monthly award program. A lot of value in doing that. Get that lightning card and then stash away these cheap budget guys whenever you see them in the featured program, because it's no more than like 10K stubs for all of these dudes together. Tops now, again, if you're doing your monthly awards, you're getting tops now. Only ones that are difficult to get are your BR guys. So the guys at the bottom here like Soto, Trey Turner, Ryan Howard. I recommend, if you're looking to get some of these BR flashbacks, we'll talk about it again, do your mini seasons objectives. I did it once yesterday for the silvers and the bronzes. As you see here, these flashbacks and legends rewind packs are the BR cards. So essentially you could do these objectives in mini seasons, get those cards for free, and you don't even need to play the entire mini season. Just do those objectives, get the cards. If you're someone who's grinding offline, this is a good thing to do for some XP as well. You're trying to do your featured program. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get that XP, but also stash some of the silver, bronze, and golds from the BR program from doing this. They're tough to get because they're 5,000 in the market and there's not enough inventory. Second half heroes actually prove to be a little bit difficult. You're gonna want to make sure you do the current featured program, get those legend and flashbacks. Those will give you a good amount of those. There aren't many BR cards. I don't think there are really any flashbacks that you can get out of doing the mini season stuff. However, you're gonna need to likely keep up with your event rewards, your bosses like David Justice. A good amount of them are actually events and BR program cards, and the flashbacks within the legend and flashbacks pack in the program. So do those things. This one probably isn't too bad, especially if you have live series collections done. You may need to buy a couple cards. Cards like Cattell luckily crashed a little bit. You may have to spend, you know, 30, 40, 50K on a couple cards. It could be one of the more expensive one closer to Milestone and Prime and Sig series, but probably shouldn't be as bad if you're someone who is keeping up with playing events and getting cards out of those rewind packs. Rookie is somewhat in the same boat, except a lot of the legend and flashbacks like the golds, the BR cards, the silvers and bronzes we've gotten in the featured programs as other legends and flashbacks. Those will be the cards you will see a lot of rookies. As you see here, there aren't many ones you can really buy, and the ones you buy are dirt cheap. Guys like Willie Mays, Ron Guidry from Ranked, Honest Wagner, Minnie Minoso. There's a lot of these budget diamonds and cheap buys if you do not have this one really close done. But again, if you need some of these lower overalls, do your mini seasons. A lot of these guys you can get in there. Breakout is definitely more so of a diamond type collection. Some of the guys are more expensive like Kershaw and Andrew Miller and Christian Yelich has kind of been somewhat valuable for a while. But again, this one will add up over time if you are doing those gold legend flashbacks, getting those. Again, keep up with your BR cards and the occasional event reward slips in here and those base rounds of those packs. Keep up with all of those things. This is a cheap one to do as well. All-Stars in the same boat. However, you need 60 and there are a few diamonds you'd likely need to get all of these done. So keep up with your inning bosses that we had this point in the game. Event rewards. Again, that legend and flashback pack within the program is the MVP of this because there are a lot of those. If you've been keeping up with your featured programs, you're going to be able to get a hold of all these cards very, very easily, getting those legend and flashbacks. And then the back end of it, you might need to buy a couple. You might need to, you know, finish up some collections, get that NOS done for Kenley and get Hank Aaron. But again, if you've been keeping up with all the content, you're probably fine. You might need to buy a couple extra cards like some event rewards and some pack cards. So again, this one's not too bad overall. Veteran as well is one of those breakout type ones where there's a good amount of diamonds. But again, a lot of them are free to earn within those legend and flashbacks. I did not have to buy really many cards out of the veterans. If you kept up with the game, grinding out those gold legend and flashbacks, those BR cards like I mentioned, yet again, you'll see a good amount of those. So make sure you do those things along with getting the cards within the program, and you will likely see a lot more of these cards throughout the year. And finally, you have your postseason. Postseason is always a tough one because there are not many, but the beauty of this one is there aren't many cards to buy either. If you've been playing the game, you have Roy Halladay, you have Johnny Bench, a couple of the event rewards like Bichette as well. Maybe you got Oral Hershiser. All these cards are very acquirable at this point. It's not too difficult because the cards are very budget. There aren't many cards to collect though, so make sure you've done your live series collections for a couple of them. Save on those stubs because yes, guys like Gary Sheffield, Tony Perez for your collections, valuable to stash away. And then finally, you have your future stars. And I'm waiting to talk about this one to the very end because your future star cards, they're going to be very easy to get, kind of like your face of the franchise cards. But the beauty of the future stars is there are going to be more than just the ones within the program. We had 30 face the franchises and that's it. Future stars, you're going to see a lot of really good ones as the year goes on. And as of right now, we have 31, including one free one within the featured program, Castanera. You'll see more probably flashbacks like Keston. You'll probably see more newer ones, guys like Adley Rutschmans and Wander Francos, or young players who are just getting called up to the MLB the last couple years with really good high overall future stars. So again, this is a little bit of an in-between face the franchise in the collections like your Milestones and Sig series, where these cards are gonna be some of the best in the game, so you'll probably be stashing them away anyway because you're using them. So make sure you do pick up these cards at the end of the program or somewhere around that, because at the end of the month, at the end of June, you'll see they'll get very cheap at the very back end of the program, and they're all sellable choice packs this time around in the program. So right away, these cards will be very acquirable. They're already getting there. I know that was a lot. I know we talked about our individual divisions a lot, but in order to get your cards, I'd recommend doing your live series collections first. We talk about all the no money spent series and how we got live series collections done, no money spent. Essentially, once you get that done and you're trying to wrap up the back part of these collections, or maybe you want to skip out on your live series collections, don't want to get Randy yet, what you want to do is basically dabble in mini seasons. Mini seasons is going to be your friend to get some of those flashbacks if you've not been keeping up with your BR programs. Someone who's playing offline, this will be a really good avenue to get some cards, get some stubs, get some packs. Mini seasons always is a great mode to play. And then after that, play your online modes, you know? Maybe you want to play ranked seasons, get a couple of those ranked seasons rewards. Some good stubs by selling the main rewards, selling them all for big stubs while they're expensive like Maddox and Reggie Jackson, and use the 100+ K stubs you get to get other cards for the collection. Or what you can do is play the BR programs when they drop, complete them as soon as possible, sell all the awards that you can and then buy them back when they're cheaper. All big brain plays. Also, if you are someone who's playing the game regularly, I recommend keeping up with your events. We get the rewind packs. So these cards are staying constantly in motion. You're able to get them directly for free as well, and it keeps their prices low. So if you're someone who has not completed live series collections, sell these event rewards and pick them up after once you have your live series collections done. But if you're not doing that, get the cards in the rewind packs. You could save yourself tens of thousands of stubs just by doing this, and also getting the awards while the event is going down, and maybe you have some extras, you could sell them down the road. Point is, you want to keep on getting packs, play the game, get the packs, get the players that you can collect, and you'll get those stubs back. It all comes full circle. You save the stubs and start getting those cards to collect. And obviously, when you are playing the game, you will get progress in your future stars program or whatever program is going on at that point. And keep an eye on any legend and flashback packs, whether they're the gold ones you had at first, whether it's these diamond ones we have here, all the bronze and silvers that we had before. These cards are really meant to be stashed away, and be careful you don't choose cards twice, because right now they're no sale. You don't want to accidentally make that mistake. But yeah, that is going to be it for my discussion on these legend and flashback collections. I know right now it seems like a lot, and it's definitely a grind. But if you're someone who is patient, if you're playing the long game and you're not looking to get George Brett today, you'll be able to get him in a week's time. I promise you. Just be smart, get your program progress, sell your stubs, get the free cards you can from things like events, and I promise you, George Brett is going to be more and more acquirable as the year goes on and worth doing. Not only for him, but future collections that you will need George Brett stuff for as you move on throughout the year. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure you like if you did. Check out the rest of the No Money Spent series if you want to see me debut cards, go for the best collection awards, or if you want to see my video I posted yesterday, we talked about all the future star cards and you want to see which cards I think are best. I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you all again on the next video. Deuces.